Good day to you, partner. I'm keen, and I can already tell that I'll be your best friend in this forsaken camp.
Hey guys, Wheat Solo here, aka the Skeleton King. I'm actually really excited about this video because I think the Poison Creeper, even it's an incredibly buggy state that it is, which this video will clearly show with, I hope, no argument, that Poison Creeper still has a valid role on every single doo-doo summoner in this game, or if you're playing the very bizarre support doo-doo, which they're actually a really good support class, and I think after Necro and Barb, Conviction's really good. But I think they have an argument to be third or fourth, depending on how much. Conviction arguably is just the best ability in the game, so maybe you put Pally's number one, but Necros have so many good support abilities, physical and elemental, and then Borb just increases physical damage by ridiculous amounts, and then of course life and skills. But we're just talking about the Poison Creeper and how amazing it is with only 20 points. So, right now we're doing a level 40 Poison Creeper. The reason I chose level 40 is because level 30 just it literally took too long to kill a 100k HP dummy. So what is important to remember is that the damage of the Poison Creeper increases dramatically with every single skill point. So every plus skill you have to it, whether it's a +3 weapon, Ritz leg, +3 on your helm, +3 on your shield, right? Like a lidless +3. Anyways, any way you can get plus skills makes the Poison Creeper incredibly better. Also, 40 is a little harder to get for a doo-doo than opposed to a necromancer, and that's because the doo-doo doesn't have access to necro heads and wands. They do have the helm, which is nice, there's no argument, but again, they only kind of have one. I really hope that at some point they allow the weapons to roll, to a plus to druid skills or a plus to skill tree, because I don't think it would break any of their builds, and it would greatly help the doo-doo summoner, which is an incredibly underpowered class in this game. So, level 40, reasonable damage. Level 50, more reasonable damage. Now, again, you can get higher than level 50, but level 50 for a druid is closer-ish to, like, your in-game gear. And in fact, I actually dropped one skill point here. And please remember that. So why did I drop one skill point? Well, I'm trying to make a facsimile of what the BIS gear would be, or one version of it, to increase the Poison Creeper damage as much as humanly possible. And this might not be the optimal version of that, but it is one optimal version of that using a Viper Fork, which was just a kind of easy way to get this going and started. So with the Viper Fork, I actually couldn't hit 50 skills, but I could hit 49. And I think I counted CTA, but regardless, if I lose one skill, right, but I gain all this mastery, I should kill this faster, right? No, and in fact, I kill it a bit slower. Why? Because I lost one skill. So this shows that Poison Creepers gain no benefit from mastery, okay? Now, if you're wondering about the Pierce, that is an ability that the Poison Creeper has, that should work fine. The easiest way to test that is to just PvP somebody, have a Poison Creeper out, and push 8. Then the Poison Creeper puts the debuff on you, and you'll see you're taking more poison damage. That's an ability that's like separate from the Mastery and Pierce that any pet gets. Now, most pets don't actually benefit from Pierce, so I don't really assume that they'll do more damage thanks to the Pierce on my facets, but I'm putting even more Mastery on. And also, I kind of wanted this to check if Snake Cord did more damage on the tooltip. This is another important thing I can highlight. Just because your tooltip says one thing, please don't just assume it means something. Tooltips in this game are incredibly more accurate in Project Diablo 2. The dev team did a lot of work on fixing problems with the character sheet, like for instance your weapon damage on skills and the skill tree tooltips to make them more accurate, and they are better, but again, they're usually not 100% right on a lot of abilities. Like Necromancer pets still have issues with the tooltips being exactly what it is. So, your DPS counter, okay, that has its own issues. So always don't assume just because your tooltip increases, it means you're actually doing more damage. That's like the number one issue with a lot of players when they see someone talking about how to do something differently because of the way the game works and some wonky interactions. They'll go, no, don't worry, my tooltip went up and down, so I'm doing more damage or less damage. And here you can see that it does snapshot. So I tried synergies, I tried mastery, absolutely no increase, and in fact, going with less mastery and more plus skills, I did more damage because that's the only thing that benefits the poison creeper. And why I wanted to show this is there are some issue with druid snapshotting. I'll probably make a video about that at some point, maybe in the video when I go deeper into why I think the poison creeper um, is still better than ravens. Although I think at the end of this video, you should really believe this, I promise, and that's because you have to continuously recast ravens. One caveat being Enraged Direwolf is so bad that possibly ravens are better than them, but at least you don't have to recast Enraged Direwolf all of the time. So there you can see they snapshot, and oh, I finally test synergies here. Sorry about that, I forgot. And the reason I did this was because there was some questions about whether the mastery on the skill, or synergy, but a synergy is literally a form of mastery. That's a good thing to understand because if you ever have like ED from a facet, mastery, it does get affected by synergies. You're not buffing that damage, you're buffing the base damage of the spell. And here you can see it's not going to increase that. But what I'm going to try to do is I'm going to show you guys that the doo-doo summons, it's like all about the bear, it's all about the spirit wolf. And then there are two abilities you can use with your extra skill points. Again, you can max Enraged Dire Wolves, especially with less gear, you should still do that. If you're very, very budget, ravens are useful. It's just you have to continuously recast them. But the more budget you are, the slower you go, and so the less painful recasting ravens is, because you'll have more downtime anyways. But my dream is that you'll actually run Poison Creeper in place of Raven or Enraged. And then when you cut the other one, you'll run Spirit of Borbs. And I actually think that will be the true in-game doo-doo summoner as of now. That's because Enraged Dire Wolves are just as bad as they are. Oh, good job, Wheat Solo. Just FHR to death. By the way, Druids have like the just as bad frames as Necromancers when they're not shapeshifted. It's quite awful. But this is why the Poison Creeper is so good. It's literally doing screen-wide DPS on hundreds of cows, and again, it's a 20-point wonder, okay, that does benefit from soft points, so you can get it to this level. I've got no other pets on the screen, and although the damage isn't incredible, the fact is, a 20-point wonder that'll just increase DPS on an entire screen sounds really, really good to me. If you're wondering how big the radius is, I tried to figure it out by putting like my little radius chart on top, and I do it right here. I think it might be like 6 yards. I think it's more than 4, but not quite 8. So that means it's kind of close to fire golems. That's nice. Alright, Skelly King out, guys. GG.
Come and play with us, Danny.